It took me a little bit to get on here this morning. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Let's give you guys a few seconds, few minutes. Come on in. It's this morning. My husband was a little chatty, wanted to chat. Doesn't usually want to chat too much in the morning, but we want to chat a little bit. And I was just doing just some little looking at things and taking a moment and doing some reflection on a lot. We got the moon is in Aquarius. I'm just looking at it right now on my phone. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the moon in Aquarius. And Venus is just coming, well, she's still on the square with Saturn. Pluto and the sun are trining. So that's kind of nice. That's a nice. And of course, Eris is there too. It's that Uranus thing kind of just getting me to look at things. I mean, it's squaring over there too. So much going on. It is really a hypocrisy, an illusion. So much that's happening within the world. And you know, when you start to really take more of a step back, and you take a step back and you take a step back, it's very interesting how so much out of touch. How many people are just so out of touch. There's that Met Gala. Some pictures came up on Google, and I was looking at. It was like, yeah, you know, people, the elite, dress extravagant, but it looked so. And this is one thing with, so Hunger Game-ish. That's what I thought. I thought it was like, this is just like too far-fetched. And then some kind of photo came up with Jen and Ben Affleck or whatever, and they're kissing with masks on. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Like so out of reach and out of touch with that of the world, and that doesn't affect, like, the world. What's ever happening in the world doesn't affect them. And it's very, I mean, that in itself really gets you to sort of look at and come back into like your own self, and and then just shake your head. And then the Nicki Minaj, where she's getting blasted for I mean, first she's upheld, and people love her, and but then as soon as she speaks against the narrative that they want you to speak, you're on the out. You're like, oh my God, you can't say that. So this is showing you, I mean, this is like blatantly showing you that there is a underlying evil that is deteriorating things and bringing you into crazy illusions that you can fall into if you really want to, and then get lost in those instead of coming back into that of what you know is your truth. And there is where, the other part too, and I was that, and I mentioned it today on Instagram, and I was thinking, because of what's happening in Australia. And I know Australia has, had, and I mentioned this before about China and the ties with China and everything, but they're supplying, they said they don't have nuclear warheads on them, but they're supplying Australia with nuclear subs. They've taken a $90 billion contract away from France and gave it to Australia. And I found that very interesting in itself too, because I'm like, okay, that down there in that area of the world is where China has been really trying to make a force, trying to be seen. And as I'm watching where Mars is, and Mars is getting closer to a um, asteroid that starts with L, how that energy, with him moving closer, because he's one of the faster moving planets right now, Mercury and Venus are slowing down, and as they're going to be going retrograde, and they're getting closer to the Earth, and we're seeing all of these crazy illusions come up. Yet everything is coming into some weird signs that, and some weird illusions that are coming forward. And many don't want to, like, they'll look at the Met Gala, or they'll look at, oh, Nicki Minaj, like, let's distract you over here, and you're not really seeing the global picture of what's going on. Then you get people that, oh, I don't want to see the global picture that's going on. Yet when you go to the grocery store, the shelves are becoming empty. But you don't want to look at the global picture or what's going on in the rest of the world, because that doesn't affect me. Yet you go and there is becoming shortages in different areas. So I think this is as we're moving towards this full moon, is finding that you have to really push yourself to the extremes. You have to push yourself further than you've ever been pushed before in your life. Like, really getting yourself to do something that you wouldn't normally do. And instead of trying to do the same old patterns in your life that you've always done, and just hoping to God that this is all going to go away. And whatever that push is, it's like getting you to get uncomfortable, to make the change, to get over the hump, to come into the sun, to come into that glory, to come into that beauty of what is yours. Even with, and I know it's unpacking so much, and I really have been somewhat avoiding a lot of what has been happening in the world. I kind of sort of tuned it out a little bit. And what really got me sort of back on and being aware is, of course, what's happening in Alberta, which still makes no fucking sense to me. This trying to word my words so they don't sound, we're coming to things are coming to a head, and the head is going to explode in some way. And all of these mandates are all superficial, kind of, to what is really going to be handed down. I mean, we're already seeing that even the president of the United States isn't even going through Congress to pass things. We're even seeing our prime minister. I mean, he never really left his residency at all, and dismantled a lot to do with our own legislative to pass some things we didn't even know were being passed. So there is this forum and push that's coming out. And then I'm watching this gala, and I'm just like, are they really trying to do this to humanity? Are they really trying to enforce? And of course, I don't know, AOC, who, like, I know this is American politics and stuff, and I know many of you who follow me are Canadian, but it does have effect on us, like everything else. That AOC didn't want, like, she was a bartender, and they needed somebody in that district to run, and so they had like a casting call, and she fit the bill. So because she was outspoken, and she didn't even really have aspirations to go into politics. So she's one of those fucking facade, like, she's this prop that has been propped up to say, look at her, boop, 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 look at the success and da 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 da. And that's happening is like all of these props, and that we are being led by all of these illusions, all of these props that are coming up. And then we get lost in it. We get lost. And this is where, we got to break out of the like the more we break out, the more we expand ourselves and become more radical in our life. We begin to break the outer shell. We begin to break what is being pushed up against us. And I mean, in Australia, they got all happy that they could go an extra 10 kilometers away from their home. And that to them is freedom. There's, and you think it's not, the thing is that you have to understand, and this is to the Canadians, you think that can't happen in Canada. I think, I see Australia being a puppet being utilized right now on how far they can push people and how far can they push the narrative before people will crack and start getting radical and start getting into that radical. And that's where that Uranus in Taurus is, because Uranus in Taurus is at 14 degrees. And when it hits that 15, which won't be for a while, but when it hits the 15 degrees and starts going into that next decade, that's when things are going to start getting crazier than what they are now. And this is where I feel like New York is being set up as a district of the Hunger Games, and you have Washington, D.C., because that whole inauguration and everything else was so fucking Hunger Games. And then you have Lady Gaga being all in this present, like she's almost like the master of ceremonies and things going around her. And we have where people are saying tax the rich, tax the rich. But what people don't realize is all of that, you know what that means? That means tax the middle class. It doesn't mean tax the rich. The rich aren't going to get taxed. They're corporations. They've made themselves into a corporation. So they aren't going to be taxed. They're not even going to be touched. And a lot of people don't realize that or notice that, because they're not taxing the corporations, because the corporations are working with the government. And that's very fascist, if you'd say. And how people are responding to what's going on there. So if somebody's coming out and is not very vibrant, then the response to the people around them are usually not very vibrant. And this goes back to all the way back to World War II, and how it went down and the weird signs that were there with what Germany did and the invasions that Germany did, and how it began to take over different areas and bomb the UK for over a year. And this is where you watch this person who came to power and his presence and how he was able to manipulate people and had such a presence on the stage, and where he would actually sit and wait till everybody was silent before he talked, and then got up and did his whole spiel. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, there was something there, and I don't know, it's just something with all of this is more is going to just come up. There's going to be more of a reveal that's going to come up, and it's going to really fucking shock people more so than what it ever has before. And in heading towards where I think we're heading, and the feeling that I'm getting in this is a place that, and I feel like we're already, kind of in it, but this is it United States and England, that kind of that was my trigger to say, oh fuck, it is happening. The war games are happening. And many times when things are going to war is that they sell off their old stuff to their allies or give their stuff to their allies. And, and that's what they did for World War II to Great Britain. And gave them some of their old war tanks and stuff like that, to help them out. So this is what we're starting to see. So there is a setup that's starting to happen. And little things that people haven't noticed or paid attention to, right down to how the draft is done. And I've said this before, and I've said it before to people, that I can see the draft, even though the draft is no longer there, but the board, even both in the Commonwealth and in United States, is still there. They may not, I mean, the office is still there. The office is still taking names. So there is a definite setup that's happening. And this full moon being at 29 degrees at the very end of Pisces and at the end of Virgo, very mutable, very changing, is getting us to wake up to see what are the changes that you are wanting to make in your life. What are the radicalness that you want to start creating in order for you to move in the direction that you want to move. Now, I know there's certain things that we can't control, but we can still move towards the people we want to have around us. We can still go to the projects that we want to work on and create an alignment of a world that we want to be in. That's where the astrology is. We're coming into a very intense, heavy weekend, and the feeling of it, the feeling that I'm getting, and especially with this full moon, is very similar to that of December of 2019 and going into January of 2020, and that hovering of energies that were there, that you knew something was coming, but you just don't know what it is yet. And that's the same feeling I'm getting with this energy as we're moving into the fall. There's something coming, and it's pretty crazy. And it's going to awaken people it's going to awaken you whether you want it or not. And there's no escaping. There will be no escaping it. And it's almost like, and somebody mentions that I was watching, like the Black Swan. The Black Swan is where you're not even expecting it, and it just happens. So something, and especially when it comes to the elite, so something to do with the Black Swan, something that's going to be revealed or seen that we aren't even expecting, and that's going to be happening over the next month and a half, if not sooner. And because the Jupiter Saturn is the big, as Jupiter Saturn, especially in Aquarius, is setting up for the big curse, and the spell, and what the spell is that a spell is that you get so used to everything happening in a certain way, you don't even notice anything else. So you get used to it, and you just think it's normal. And, okay, here, oh my God, the downloads are starting to come down. Do you not see or realize that as communities are being set up, that they are making communities that they are very intact, that you have to stay within the community to do all that of what you have to do, from that of your banking to your shopping, of food, of clothing. They're making everything in a unique area, so that you don't leave that area, that you stay that there, right down to how you do your business or do your work, where they are wanting you to be more in a set area so that it is easier to be confined and stay in those areas. Setting up so that people are confined, and you think that you do, they let you think that you have the freedom to travel in and out, but slowly your restrictions are will be coming in little by little, more and more, that since everything is confined in one area, you'll be saying, oh well, it doesn't matter, I got everything here and I don't have to worry. And in doing that, that means that they can actually make sure that the amount and number of people that are in that area are in that area, and nobody else is coming in and out of that area. It is the segregation. And from that segregation, they can segregate out who are being the obedient ones and who are not being the obedient ones, and that they can begin to segregate out from there. And that's what you're going to be witnessing more and more. In order for you, this is where you have to begin to look at your identity, your connections, and your alignment. And the more you look at your connections and alignments, then you are going to be able to have the affiliations that you need so that you are able to move from area to area. And it's going to be important that you do this. And many people, where they think, and many people think that certain people are no longer alive or around, but where they end up taking people, or where they end up allowing them to live, is in a place that is very freeing for them, and a place where many people don't intrude on, and that is South America. And bringing them to a place that is allowing them to live the best life they ever lived, because they also have the connections and everything else, and to continue doing the way of life that they've always done. Hence, that's where Hitler went. Huh. That's where Epstein's gone. That's where many that have gone or have done things, they so that you no longer see them, because who goes there? Who's intruding in there? And they set up their world, they set up their life to be able to continue doing what they were doing and controlling in the way that they were controlling. And the energies are trying to awaken people and shake them up, buzz them, buzz, buzz, that's what they said, so that you are able to shatter this reality that is coming down in order for you to conform to that world. But you have to shatter the reality by stepping out and being your uniqueness and being that of who you truly are, instead of hiding it, and learn to do things in a new way and not continue to do things in the same old way that you've always done it. And with this moon, because as it comes to the very end of Pisces, when it goes into Aries and things start to move towards the Aries energy is that of the god of war. We begin, and it starts with the equinox as we go into the fall, and you will all be feeling like you are in a hibernation and things are not moving, yet they are. But that's part of the illusion, so that you are to awaken to the new light, to the new way, and to your divine, and to your source, and come into that vibration. Wow. Sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. It sounds far-fetched. But I can feel my guides here. I can feel their energy here, and I can feel that. I can feel the Palladians really coming in strong, because they are showing me that many are going up against the I don't know, it's like the galactic council that many here on this earth are stepping out of the galactic council. So continue to trust in that divine light, because as they step out, like many before them, will be pushed back so that order can be reformed. So order will be reformed, but it's going to take a little bit for it to happen with that. And today I'm going to pull out some cards. So tonight, if anybody want to drop by my place tonight, you can. I'll send you my address if you DM me, but you got to DM me and let me know. And if you need to pick up any canned goods or anything like that, I got a few that I can spare. So let me know if you need to start doing any stock up, or just needing, I have fruit and beans and peanut butter and a few other things and some bread. So if you want to do any stocking up, and it's free. So just let me know. And I can give you a helping hand. So just let me know. I would love to do that for you. And this is for the Calgary area. So if you're in the Calgary area, just let me know. You can DM me if you want to stock up on a few things. So what is the card we have? Oh my God. I can't believe it. We got the Sun card. And it's funny, I was watching a show this morning too, and he pulled out the Sun card too. I shuffled like so having that Sun card is there is light. There is something beautiful. When you are stepping into your uniqueness, and the Sun card is that beautiful child on the back of the horse, riding and being fun and allowing for that uniqueness and fun to come in. And that's where we need to continue the focus, right? It's you're saying that just brought tears to my eyes. Oh, Lisa. Just get a hold of me, DM me anytime after 6. Come over for a cup of tea. Friday nights are usually I'm not doing anything. So Friday nights, come on over. You can come over for a cup of tea. And you can just come over for a cup of tea if you just want to come over for a cup of tea too. So just saying to people, it's okay. It's safe. It's a safe place. I might not be safe now that I'm on public media, but right now it is a safe place. So if people are needing to just chat, sometimes it's that human contact. So we have that sunshine, and the sun is coming out, and with the sun comes in the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is your wish card. So what are you wishing for? My guides are pushing you to not distinguish your light, continue to allowing your light to shine. And again, they're just like, I got this vibrance and becoming the vibrant person that you are, and don't get scared. Don't get scared. I know that it feels scary, but even if it happens, I don't even like saying it, but because they're showing me, even if it does happen, you're going to be safe. This is why you have to find the people that have your back. Finding your tribe, because there's great rewards in it. So people, there are great rewards and beauty all around you. There's passion that's in there. The sun is coming up. So there's a lot of fire that's coming up with this. The fire can be very crazy and erratic, but we have that Scorpio energy, which I always call lava. I always call myself lava, but it's coming in, that we want to have the truth. We want to get into the direction. And Saturn says, yeah, you can go to this totalitarian energy if you want, and this fascist creative energy, which is there. It is there. There is many out there. If you just pull up Met Gala 2021 and look at some of their fucking outfits, and that elitistness, and saying tax the rich, in amongst something that cost $30,000 to have a ticket to, but tax the rich. This is where it's like, okay, I see what you're saying. The rich are the middle class. The rich are people who really don't have a whole heck of a lot, because they're not, part of a corporation or part of that. Because if you think Kim Kardashian is being taxed to the hilt, she's not. Or any of them, they're all corporations. They all have that. And this is where the sun is saying, you know what? Let them have it. Let them have that. Because the true essence, the true source of what is of true happiness is the vibration with this world, the vibration with Gaia. It is the nature, it is the love, it is the laughter of family, of friends that you have. That is the essence, and that is the most important thing. So no, that's there. It's us stepping into it. But it doesn't, they're also saying it's not to be stupid and go drifting around like, oh yeah, life is great and I'm just in la la land. No, it's still about, let's get prepared. Let's prep for this. So when you see water on sale, get 2. Put 1 aside. When you see extra things on sale, buy 1 extra. Things like fruit and stuff, freeze dry them out, so that you have them in the freezer, so you have that. Or if you buy frozen fruit and it's on sale, get an extra one. Try and buy only things that are on sale. Number 1. Don't, and if you're a couponer, there's many apps and stuff and information about that. So this is where you start to strategize. Somebody who has a farm, make friends with them. And maybe it's not this year, but maybe next year, maybe you can work with them to have your own plot. This is where you start to look at, okay, what can I do? Because farming is going to be very, 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 very important coming into the next couple years. Farming, land is going to be very important. So this is what you need to look at. Okay, what can I do? And if you're able to find a parcel of land, put a trailer on it until you can get everything set up. There's ways of doing things. Sometimes it's getting us to get out of the uncomfortable in order to create the newness and the radical. That's the important piece here. And the final card, remember you have choices. Remember you have choices. There's always choices. But you might get delusional about the choices because of Neptune and Pisces, but there are choices in all of this and how you want to create it. Be aware. Don't be stupid. Be aware. It's like, are you going to go up and hug a mother grizzly? Probably not. If you see her, maybe you want to move the other way. It's be prepared. Know your area. But let me know if you are needing of anything. DM me and I'll see what I can do for you. And helping you out with food, like an Italian mama, it's always free. So everything else you have to pay for. Not going to loan you money. We don't do that. But sending you out so much love. Also, my full moon readings, mini readings are available. So if you are wanting one, let me know, and they'll start coming out tomorrow. I'm taking a little bit of a respite today on doing readings and just reconnecting with my own self. But you are more than welcome to come over for a cup of tea. Opening my door. Blessed be everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.